Not 9 ideas, not 9 concepts, not 9 steps toward a better life. 9 living truths, drawn from 30 years of experience, from the deepest compressions a human being can survive, and from the explosions of light that followed each one. Each pearl is a door. Each door opens from the inside. Let us begin. Fear is not your enemy. It is a door. When fear arrives, most people run from it, suppress it, medicate it, explain it away. But fear is not a signal of danger. Fear is a signal that the door is open. In April 1991, at the peak of the greatest compression I had ever known, I was overwhelmed with dread, a tightened stomach, thoughts that bit like animals. Everything around me felt threatening, and in that state, I did the one thing that changed everything. I did not fight the fear. I filled it with love. When we open fear with awareness and fill it with love, something happens that surpasses logic. Fear dissolves. Reality begins to respond to you. The world moves within you, not around you, and you recognize you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in one drop. Love is the warmest thing a human being can feel, and at the same moment, it is the most powerful physical force a human being can generate. These two truths do not contradict each other. They complete each other. That is why, in the formula, L is squared. Your heart is not a pump. It is the largest electromagnetic transmitter in the human body. Its field is 5,000 times stronger than the field of the brain. When you begin to radiate love, you feel it first. A warmth, an opening, something soft and expansive in the chest. This feeling is not separate from the transmission. It is the transmission. Your body is a field. Your heart is an antenna. Your thoughts are a program, and what you transmit shapes your reality and the reality of those around you. You always knew this. Now you know why. There is a mechanism. No religion named it. No science described it completely. No teacher gave it a working protocol. Until now, the mechanism has 2 moments. First, compression. Psychologically, contraction, anxiety, loss of control. Physically, tightened stomach, trembling, exhaustion. Energetically, the field narrows, the awareness tunnels, and the inner voice says, I cannot go on. I do not know who I am. Everything is collapsing. This is 0 point, the complete point of darkness. Second, the radiance. And here, the reversal occurs, not from the head, from the heart. A person decides, despite everything, to send from their heart a feeling of tenderness, love, warmth, light toward people, toward space, toward everything. Not because the world is good, but because they no longer wish to be part of the darkness. This is the spark that tears through the dark. When maximum compression meets maximum love, the result is not addition, it is explosion. Hypnosis is not a stage trick. It is the state in which the subconscious takes over and receives information without the filter of conscious thought. And this state happens every day. When you drive and do not know how you arrived home, when you watch the news and accept what it tells you, when you fall half asleep and something is whispered to you before the mind wakes. The subconscious does not know truth from lie. It only knows trust. From the moment of birth, the words of parents, the voice of teachers, the prayers of priests, the commands of authorities, the news from screens, all of it recorded as code. But here is what this book reveals. You can use this same mechanism consciously. In the state of compression, when the ego breaks down, the subconscious is open, and what you place inside it in that moment becomes the new program. The door is not locked. You now hold the key. You have been told that consciousness is something you achieve, something you develop, a level you reach. This is not true. Consciousness is not in your head. The head is the processor. Consciousness is the field, like a Wi-Fi signal. It is everywhere, but it only works where the receiver is open, and that receiver is you. not your name, not your story, your presence, without thought. If you are in rigid control, you are not in flow. If you love only those who do not threaten you, you are not in love. You are in conditionality. You do not need more knowledge. You do not need more confirmation. You need to change your frequency consciously. And when you do, the world adjusts to you. People move, things release, your body attunes. Because now you are not vibrating from a program. You are vibrating from yourself. When the heart changes, the body follows. This is not metaphor, this is biology. In stress, the body produces cortisol. Cortisol suppresses regeneration, causes inflammation, weakens the immune system. But when you vibrate from love, when the heart is deeply connected and present, something else begins. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, natural, organic, without chemistry, cells begin to regenerate. The autonomic nervous system switches from fight or flight to rest and healing. This is not placebo. This is the biology of consciousness. The heart and the pituitary gland, the axis of the luminous transition. When the heart vibrates in coherence, it sends a signal to every cell in the body. There is no longer a reason for the body to be ill. Every great teacher of humanity stood at the threshold of this truth. Buddha beneath the tree, Christ on the cross, every mystic in the darkness of their night of the soul, they all lived the formula. H, the compression. L2, love ignited in that compression. E, the explosion of consciousness outward. And yet, not one of them gave you a clear, repeatable protocol. Not because they were hiding it, because they did not have the language. Buddha gave you the map. Christ gave you the living demonstration. Rumi gave you the fire of longing. But none of them said, here is the mechanism, here is what happens inside, here is what you must do and why it works. The Sacred Heart of Jesus, thorns, flame, radiance, was painted to show exactly this. Thorns, compression, H flame, love ignited, L2, radiance, enlightenment, E. The formula was never hidden, it was only unread. History gave you many maps, but no one gave you the roads. Until now. There are 3 paths to the inner breakthrough. All 3 are real. All 3 I have walked. The first path, through fear, illness, loss. When everything collapses, you become transparent. The ego breaks. Consciousness contracts to a single point. And in that state, a decision becomes possible to allow love to rise from the heart. Not as a thought, not as a performance, as a felt warmth, sent outward toward everything, without reason, without conditions, without guarantees. The second path, through morning silence. Every morning, before you fully wake, there are a few minutes when the ego is quiet, the body is still, the mind is soft, the heart is open. In that moment, allow warmth to rise from the center of the chest. Feel it first, then let it radiate outward toward everything. 1 minute. That is enough. The third path, through guided session. With a trusted guide, consciousness descends into the subconscious. The body is still, the heart becomes receptive, the warmth rises, the transmission follows the feeling. In all 3 paths, it is the same. Feel the love first, and feeling it, you become the transmitter. What happens when consciousness awakens? You do not begin to fly, you do not walk on water, you do not become a saint, but something essential changes. The body becomes light, not because the mass changes, but because you are no longer pressed into it. When you no longer believe you are the body, you no longer experience it as a burden. Instead of tension, flow, as if you were air, as if every cell, empty yet alive. The mind grows still. You no longer need to think about everything. You do not ruminate on the past. You do not build the future. Thoughts come and go, and in between, peace, silence, space. You wake without an alarm, not because you had to, but because life called you. Something in you knows it is time. You open your eyes, and the world is no longer an enemy you must endure. It is a friend who has something to tell you. This is not a destination. This is a frequency, and it is available to every human being who is willing to go through the door. 9 pearls, 1 formula, E equals AITCH multiplied by EL squared. The heart compressed by fear multiplied by love squared equals enlightenment. This is not a theory. This is a mechanism that has always been there, waiting to be read. These sentences exist in one book only. E equals H multiplied by EL squared. The simple equation of enlightenment that was hidden for millennia. Until now, these sentences exist in one book only.